है ना, your chosen deity. That chosen deity is not other than Brahman. Understand this. So here in the first verse, the four things are told. First is the adhikari. The adhikari means the qualification required by a student in order to know this or intuit this knowledge, this reality. Then the second is vishaya. What is the topic that will be covered in this text? So here, what was the qualification that will be told about the student? This is all Vedantic texts cover these four. Usually in the first verse or the second verse, these four topics are given. What are they? The adhikari, the vishayas, the sambandha and the prayojana. So adhikari is the qualification required by the student, vishaya is the subject matter, and sambandha is the relationship between the text that is being taken and the subject matter of the Vedanta. And what is the subject matter of Vedanta always? Is it the world? Is it the gods? No, it's always Brahmatmaikya Bodha. That Brahman is one without a second is always the subject matter. And then or the identity between the self and the Brahman, and lastly the prayojana. Prayojana means the purpose or the purpose of study. And here this is the Anubandha Chatushtaya or the primary topics dealt with in the texts of Vedanta. So this way the first verse has more or less covered the complete topic of the book. First verse itself. But now the scheme. What is the scheme? Sad Achar. So one was, we explained yesterday, last time. And the other understanding is Sad Achar, how to live a daily life. Acharan. How must you conduct yourself in truth on a daily basis. So what are these? Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta, Grathitam Nirmalam Shivam, Grathitam Nirmalam Shivam, Sadacharam Pravakshyami, Sadacharam Pravakshyami, Yoginam Jnana Siddhaye, Yoginam Jnana Siddhaye. I shall now expound on the text Sadachara, dealing with the full import of the essence of the principles of Vedanta, and that is the identity between the self and the Brahman, the nature of which is absolute purity and auspiciousness for the benefit of the seekers of the self-knowledge. So the teacher is beginning now. And what is he saying? That he is going to start expounding. And what is he saying? That Sadachar, Sat Achar, Sat is that, we have already seen yesterday, last time, Sat is that which is always existing. Sad Udita. Similarly, Sadachar, Sat is that which is self-existing. It does not require anything else to make it exist. Just like this cloth requires, it cannot exist by itself. Why? It requires thread. Without the thread, cloth cannot exist, or without cotton, the cloth cannot exist. Similarly, for this whole creation, at the relative level, it requires the space for it to exist. If you take space also in a part of the creation, then something must be there because of which this whole creation is existing. But it is always existing because of something else. But reality that you are, it does not require anything else, support of anything else in order to exist. It is existing itself. How can we then speak of Sat and Achar, that is modifications of the Sat, the truth? Meaning Achar means conduct. So that which is always existing, how can it conduct itself? It's a self-cancelling thought, isn't it? On one side you are saying it is sad, udita, self-existing, and on another side you are saying that it is achara, it is conducting itself. How can it conduct itself? It conducts itself just like the water conducts itself. How does the water conduct itself? As the ocean and the wave. That is its conduct. We are saying it because from its standpoint there is no conduct. The knower himself is always necessarily without any modifications, because he is the one conscious of changes. The achara or modifications is associated with Sat for the purpose of explaining the unchanging truth, the Sat. See what was the process that was told before? Superimposition and desuperimposition, isn't it? So we take the example, we know there is only rope. We are taking an example, and many people have experienced that rope has been mistakenly taken as a snake. So first we superimposed a snake on the rope, and then because of a certain set of circumstances, because of maybe satsang, maybe because of a teacher, maybe because of whatever the reason, the snake gets desuperimposed, isn't it? It gets desuperimposed. So same way here also, when they say Sat Achar, Sat is self-existing, but we are using the word conduct, through which we will prove that Sat is always conduct free. Understand? You sit where you are. This is like Bharata story. I don't want to be born as a cat, okay? I don't want to be born as a cat. No. It's feeling very in ignorance we find action possible. In the state of true knowledge, no action is really possible. Even those individuals who possess mumuksha, the burning desire to realize the self, they have to relinquish all actions. What to speak of those who are well established as the knowers of truth? Yeah. So here they're just qualifying that in the end, because they have used the word sad achar, achar has to be given up, the conduct has to be given up, the relative conduct. Even those who are absolutely intense desire to know the truth, yes, it will take you to a certain point, but at that point you have to drop that desire also. So what to talk about achar? We have to drop that also eventually. So here, the act of contemplating upon the nature of the ultimate reality, the act of contemplating on the nature of the self is an attempt and effort for the seeker. While it is effortless